Hey YouTube, it's Trigger here, and I get 2 Helo Pilots. 2. Yes, I get 2 Helo Pilots in this gameplay. Now granted that these enemies might not have been as bright as most of the Call of Duty players, but I don't really know, can't tell. You know, unless I knew them personally or, you know, I've played with them a little bit, you know, I'd know a little better, but I get 2 in here, and this is hardcore. Typically, most of the things you're going to see me do is hardcore, you know, and, you know, like that guy shoots me there. Sometimes I don't understand it, you know, I think there definitely is somewhat of a lag factor. You know, I've fixed things to make my lag sort of go away, but maybe I've just made it just not noticeable. Maybe, I don't know. I can't honestly say. It could be, you know, the team I'm hooked up with. It could be, you know, the connections. You know, maybe I thought I pressed the button, maybe I didn't. I'm not totally sure. It could be a variable, you know, factor of things. Like there, you know, I thought I got the guy, but he gets me. So, you know, this game is a lot like the other Call of Duty games where, you know, you got a factor in everybody else's internet speeds and things like that. But as far as it goes, you know, it's so hard for most players to get things like this, and I kind of understand. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to put a lot of mental effort into it, or you have to just take out the mental equation altogether. You have to do one or the other, it seems like, because there's games where I'll put a lot of thought into what I do and you know, plan it out, and so, you know, if I put a lot of thought and effort into it, it'll just come to fruition, you know, and there's not much more I have to do. You know, and I'll get the Helo Pilots, or I'll get, you know, the streaks or whatever I need to do to get the win. But then there's games where I just, like, you know, shut my brain down and just let my, you know, reactions go to work, and just you know, just kind of like just run around and just try to predict as fast as possible and like not think, but just kind of act. And this one here, I think I did a little bit of both. And I think that's why I got the Helo Pilot. You know, initially, you know, you can't predict every single initial battle, and you can't usually, you know, say, you know, one battle's going to win over the other, or, you know, you can't predict everything. Like, you can't predict that your shots are going to be on target. You can't predict that you're going to be the one shooting first. You know, there's a lot of variables that go into, you know, games like this, and people wonder how some people get these high-scoring gameplays. Like right there, that was a little bit of luck that I was able to aim on time. You know, I pulled in Trinity just in time. If I hadn't, he probably would have seen me and shot me. So, you know, sometimes it's just a matter of timing, you know, and at this point here, I wasn't really going with reactions. I was going with, like, you know, premeditated murder, I guess you could say. I kind of knew they were going to be there, and I'm like right in their spawn, so I'm thinking, well, they're going to come out and they're going to, you know someone's in their spawn and, you know, try to get me. And so if I try to rush around and I'm in the open too much, you know, and this and that, they're all going to get me and this and that. So, like there, I'm like, you know, these are some of those moments where I'm like, oh gosh, I should have died, but I didn't. You know, I made a smarter choice. You know, instead of picking up the body armor, I'm going to shoot this guy first, you know, because he could see me at any point in time if I'm just laying down there. So, you know, there's a few points there where I'm like really close to the streak, and I just figure, you know what, I'm just gonna get an easy kill for this next one, because there's so many times that I play this game, just so many times, where I think, you know, I can just run around like anybody else can and just, you know, get this last kill. But as soon as I'm about to get a big streak, it's almost like the enemy is just predicting, oh hey, he's been killing us a lot, you know, I'm not going to let him do that anymore. I'm going to camp in his corner and get him as soon as he pops out. And bam, that's exactly when they do that, and that's what happens. You know, and a lot of players, you know, when you're playing this game, you're about to get that high streak, and that's pretty much just what happens. You know, so I'll wait for my next kill, especially on the kill streaks, because it doesn't make any sense for me to run out there when I know that they're just going to wait for me at that point. At that point, I've already killed them, you know, enough times in a row. They're just going to wait for me. They're not going to rush me. They're just going to wait, and they're going to play cautiously, because, you know, when you're playing team deathmatch, it's really about KD. You know, you can talk about trying to get the objective. The objective is your KD. So, that's what they do, and I see that so much on PlayStation 3. Haven't played PlayStation 4 yet. Don't have the PS4 right now. But you know, I see all these other big players on Xbox Live playing. You know, they get these gameplays where they're like 80 something points or 50 something points, and you know, besides like domination match or something like that, a normal team deathmatch, I just don't normally see that. You know, I don't normally get that. And the reason is because after I've gotten so many, you know, kills right before the score streak, they start to camp it out, or else I am just too deep in the spawn, you know, to try to make any good progress without possibly getting shot. And so that's kind of the truth of the matter. You know, I see a lot of these other Xbox players, and I don't know, maybe there's worse players on Xbox, that there's just a lot of people just running around endlessly, and you could just shoot them and just run around and it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to look at you or shoot back at you. I see all these videos where they're just killing all these guys and not a single one of them shoots back. Or, you know, maybe one or two, but they just don't get on target. That just almost never happens when I play on the PlayStation 3. And, you know, it's just crazy. I mean, this is one of those matches where I kind of got that. And he's like, even here, I messed up. You know, I thought I got him. I thought I just spun around and shot him really fast, but I completely missed. And, you know, that was definitely my fault. But I think it was like in a moment where I was like so excited. I'm like, wow, I'm actually pushing these streaks up pretty hard. And this is the one guy I predicted, because usually there's always a guy just sitting here trying to camp it out in this corner, you know, trying to play it safe. But yeah, this is one of those matches where I got one of those really high kill streak gameplays, you know, that's kind of rare. And I'm almost thinking because the higher YouTubers are up against people that just don't play the game at all, or who knows, I don't know, maybe they're just up against really, really bad players, or maybe that's the way it is on Xbox Live. Maybe there are just tons of bad players on Xbox. I really can't say. But this is one of those unusual gameplays that I've gotten that doesn't really happen. I was playing with my Crow Clan earlier, and I just wasn't doing that well, and then when they all left, I decided to play a couple more matches for the Clan Wars, and trying to pump up the defenses just a little bit. And the very next game I get this, and I'm like, holy cripes, this is one of those games that I see, you know, some of the bigger YouTubers you know, use, or some of the high kill streak YouTubers use, and I'm like, where do they, you know, I kept wondering, where do they get these gameplays from? Where do they find these lobbies? I never find these kind of lobbies, and I finally found one. So it's either that Xbox has a lot of not so great players, you know, just running around, or I don't really know, but maybe PlayStation has players that are more predictive and more thought-provoking, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm starting a console war, I don't know. But this is honestly this is probably my first gameplay that I've gotten, you know, on this game, that I've gotten like double helos, you know, where I found a very easy lobby. Otherwise, most of the lobbies will camp more when they're down, and you know, they'll rush around more when they're up. And so I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions. If you disagree, or, you know, if you agree, definitely leave it in the comments below. That's really all I have for the commentary. I think I've talked myself. I think I've talked enough about it. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Time's almost up. Enemy SATCOM spotted. accomplished. A good day's work.